Hello, hello, hello. Marietta here with another video. Pray that all is well with you and thank you for joining me. I just had something that crossed my mind and I got to thinking about exactly why these things are happening. Why are people ditching their city homes to move to the country? So many people I see online, so many people that I've talked to, so many people that I just had mere conversation with, even standing in the line at Walmart, have said that they are sick and tired of living in the city. They tired of living on top of people. They tired of all the noise. They tired of hearing all the foolishness is going on in the world. They're tired of the talking about the threats of being in the dark, the lights being cut off, the food costs. I mean, so many people have so many conversations, so many reasons why they want to leave this life behind. They don't like their neighbors. They're living on top of people. They feel as though that their electric is not being respected, that they're getting electric bills that are out of this world. So they're looking for an easier way, a better way of life. So they feel like in order for them to have this better way of life, it'd be better for them to ditch these city homes and move to the country. Now, the problem with them ditching these city homes is the fact that right now it is a buyer's market. I mean, they're getting top dollar for these homes from my understanding, but they can't buy at the same decency of what they sell for, meaning this: a raggedy, tore down, broke down, beat up, banged up, scarred up fixer-upper can cost you anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 for a piece of junk. Or on the other hand, you can buy something else that's brand spanking new, that's been cheaply put together and using cardboard for center walls and not knowing whether or not it's even been built right. And then within a year later, I'm hearing people saying the whole house is shifting. But anyway, people are ditching these homes and they're actually moving to the country. I mean, they're seeking a better, easier way of life. And what they make think is easier, better, really, truly, it is easier and better, but it's a lot harder if you don't know what you're doing. It could be a lot more stress on you if you don't know what you're doing. A lot of these things that people are running to, been there and done that. We already lived that. Anybody over 60 years old have already lived this way of life. They've already understood this kind of life. They already have been down that road. They already know what it is to live off grid. They already know what it costs. Pretty much, and the price of the cost and how much work and how much labor you're going to have to do on yourself. Now, if you're used to city living and you've always been in the city, going to the country is going to be very challenging for you because there's going to be a lot of things, and it could be exciting if you're the type of person that's adventurous and you like to learn things on your own. This could probably be a humbling experience. They could probably teach you a lot of things that you wish you had to learn in your younger years, but as you learn them, you will be able to pass them down to the next generation that comes into your family. So these are some of the reasons, and I'm going to give you some of the reasons why people are ditching these city homes. Now, I mean, people are increasingly moving from the city areas to the rural areas. And a lot of this is, number one, is because they're looking for more space. Not looking for more things. They're not looking to meet more people. They're not looking to meet new friends. They're not looking to none of that. They're looking for more space. As I said earlier, they're tired of living on top of people. You notice in most of these developments that you move into now, the houses are so close together, and it seems like they want to put them right beside a Walmart and back up a Walmart, across the street from a Walmart. They're putting all these houses in a field, and they're squeezing as many into a small area as they possibly can. I mean, you may got less than a whole, as they say, 2 foot, 3 foot between you and your neighbor's house. You're just that close where y'all can reach out the window and share a bowl of cereal, or reach out the window and get a cup of sugar, might they say. So space is one of the biggest things. And then the yards are so small. You're talking less than a quarter acre. You got an itty bitty little piece of land that you're paying $300,000 for, and a house that's been put together like cardboard, that's been put together cheaply, that's been stapled together, and a strong wind come through and blow the whole area down, and they fall down with a domino effect. So you're putting a lot of your hard-earned money into a cheaply made product. The products are being cheaply made and you don't get no space, but yet and still they want top dollar for these itty bitty little spaces, and they put these great big build-a-block houses in, and that's exactly what they look like. Legos, great big build-a-block houses that they done put together 2-story, and they're not worth nothing. They actually are been put together very cheaply, but yet and still they're going to charge you top dollar. You're going to be confined to paying top dollar for a house that ain't worth the money that you put in it. You could have probably built it yourself the way they're building these these houses nowadays. I have been on site and saw some of these houses, how they're putting together, how cheaply they're being put together. So therefore, if you're not right on site and you're not there to see the material that they're using to build your house, trust and believe, in this market right here, you getting a house that's just been thrown together, and they're going to take your $200,000, $300,000 and go about their business. So space is number one. They're looking for more space. And the next one is you have no privacy. When you're living in these city houses and you got these HOA fees and you're on top of each other and you walk out your front door and your neighbor's standing right there already smoking a cigarette and you can smell the cigarette blowing up your nose, and they out there smoking whatever, it's blowing up your nose, coming through the windows of your house, and you out there having a conversation and they done listening at your whole conversation. You inside the house enjoying your family and they done heard the whole conversation. Husband and wife might be in their bedroom doing what they do and you done heard the whole conversation, you done heard the whole act all next door. There's no privacy when you live in this close to people. When you live in, people are ditching these houses from the city and running to the country. You have no privacy whatsoever. There's not too much you're going to be able to talk about that your neighbor can cut the music off in their house and they can hear everything that you're saying. Everything you say. You go outside on your porch, you got no privacy. You got no privacy inside the house. There's no place for you to hide from the ears of the people that live right next door to you, and especially if you're in the middle and you're not in a cul-de-sac. If you're in the middle, you have no privacy whatsoever. Even when you park your car, they know when you're going, they know when you left, they know what time you come home. They have gotten your schedule down pat. They know exactly who comes to your house, who leaves. They know what time they got there, what time they left, and you have no privacy whatsoever. There's just nowhere for you to hide. It just seems like you just want to live your own life and you want to mind your own business, but you got neighbors that may not mind their own business, so they all up in your Kool-Aid and they know exactly what's going on around your house minute by minute. So there's no privacy. You have no privacy whatsoever. And the third one, which to me is the most important one, is the lower cost of living. The lower cost of living. Because a lot of times when you're living off grid like this, you basically can more or less control more of what you're paying. Now, because when you live in this great big house and you in the city and you got this great big house and you still got a mortgage on that house, and that mortgage might be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. That mortgage might be outrageous. Or if you're renting and they're right now raising the cost of rents everywhere. Everywhere they're raising the cost of rents. So if you're looking at a lower cost of living, this may be the way for you to go. Why? Because you go out there, you begin to set up a life. You don't really have to have no house. They're putting sheds out there now. They're living in their RVs. They're living in their cars because they don't want to have to pay this cost of living cost what it costs to live in the house. You know what all the bills that show up in the house. You know bill shows up every month. Whatever time of the month you got your bill set, you got that mortgage to pay. You got that light bill to pay. You got that cable bill to pay. You got that lawn service to pay. You might got that water bill to pay. You might got that trash bill to pay. And it seems like the list of bills just go on and on and on and on and on. You can't get a break. You can't catch a break. It seems like every time you get paid, whatever money you got in your hand, a bill starts pulling it out your hand until all the bills are paid. And then you might look up and you got $300-$400 left for you. So the cost of living would be a lot cheaper because of the fact that there's a lot of things when you live off grid that you go without. A lot of times you figure out even the things that you buy to accommodate the accommodations in your house, like toilet paper and bleach and soap powder and soap and toothpaste and lotions and oils and all of this kind of stuff. It can rack up a bill. These are bills that you really don't have to pay a lot of. When you living off grid, you begin to live a different type of life, so you begin to rough it a lot. So the cost of living is a lot cheaper because you don't have all them fees, homeowner, home HOAs and insurances that you pay for a house, and you got a lot of fees. So there's a lot of money to be saved when you ditch these large houses in this city. When you come up out the city, you begin to learn that there's a different way that you can live, and you don't have to have a whole pantry full of food to make it. You'll be able to cook outside. You'll be able to eat a lot healthier, to tell you the truth, because you're cooking outside and because you're not eating all this greasy food. You'll be able to make it a lot easier outdoors. And I mean, you get all those benefits according to and even a lot of others, like less noise, cleaner air. You know, you get closer to nature. You get a lot of other benefits when you ditch these big homes in the city and start moving to the country. You get so much benefits, so much different. Your health might even be a lot better because your stress level will be a lot better. You'll be able to enjoy yourself a lot more. You won't have to worry about fighting with your neighbors. You won't have to worry about the high cost of living. You won't have to worry about any of that. You would just be out there just enjoying yourself, enjoying life, and putting your life together in a way that it'd be a lot more beneficial to you to be able to say, well, now I can save something. Now I can breathe. Now I can see myself getting somewhere. Now I can learn something new. Now I can understand exactly what it looks like on the other side of just living in a box, living in a corner, or, you know, you feeling like you're being trapped. So those are some of the things that people benefit from and they gain from ditching these big houses in the city and coming out to the country. Because the country life, it just seems like right now it's the thing to do, because I see so many people, I've talked to so many people, and they're really getting rid of these homes in the city so they can move to the country. So many people have talked to me about the HOA fees. They're sick of the HOA fees. They're sick of paying so much money for homes that they have no control over. So you have no control over what happens in this home that you done paid all this money for, but yet and still you study paying and paying and paying and paying and paying, but you still feel like a big child living at mama's house because the HOA fees is holding so much over your head, and they got so many rules and regulations that you don't want to abide by anymore. So they're ditching these big houses and they come into the city. So if you're in one of these big houses and you intend to ditch your big house and move to the city, you know, and head to the country, just make sure that you've done your homework and buy yourself a good piece of land and buy yourself a straw. Just make sure that, you know, you do your homework. That's all I'm saying. And buy yourself a good piece of land so that you will be able to know exactly how to handle yourself when you get out there, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy the journey. That way, at least you have lived on both sides of the spectrum, and you'll know whether or not you want to return back to the city, return back to that big house, or you are more comfortable out there in the country and you're enjoying your peace, your quiet. Get yourself a fishing pole, going out there and get yourself some fishing. A lot of times when I wake up in the morning, I'm a bird watcher. I like to hear the birds. I love watching the birds. I just feel like, you know, there's a lot less stress once you get yourself out in the country and you begin to live and you begin to learn that there's something different. Start yourself a barbecue grill up and begin to learn how to eat outside. Begin to get yourself a small garden. Start small and work your way up. Don't just dive right into it and get frustrated and get overwhelmed by the whole experience. Enjoy the experience, especially if you ain't got nobody to feed with you. But if you got a family with you, make sure the whole family is involved in the process. The change of the situation could be traumatic to some, but to some, they can really learn a lot from it, and they may enjoy that part of being out in nature. It's just a beautiful place to be when you really understand it, and you really understand that there are things that may show up that could be different, things that have to be done differently, even right down to how you wash your clothes. You might end up washing your clothes in the lake. You might have to wash them out in the lake and hang them up on a tree. I mean, these are things that I have been there and done that. These water straws that they were talking about, I mean, because everybody's talking about survival. It's going to be pretty hard to survive in this city where you can't do nothing and you don't have no way to develop that land, or you don't have no power or no authority to develop that land and turn it into what you want to turn it to. That is another good thing about going out into the country. When you get your land, you can develop your land. As far as what I'm saying is, if you want to dig up some land and build a garden, you can put your garden there. If you want to get yourself some chickens and get a chicken coop, you can do a chicken coop. There's a lot of things, a lot of reasons why people are ditching these big homes and moving to the country, be out of the city, just completely leaving the city, leaving the noise, leaving the smog, leaving the no privacy, leaving the part of no respect for, you know, each other. They're just sick of it. The lower cost of living, they're just moving for all cost of reasons. I mean, such as a few that we had mentioned early in the video. I mean, they want the privacy. They want more space. And that's true. You can actually have more space if you decide to move out into the country. You can't make yourself no more space when you're living in the city and you living next door to somebody else. And even if you don't like your neighbors, you're stuck in that situation. After so, you don't think about moving yourself out of that situation now. Now, we all do not know exactly what is really here to come, but we are watching things unfold. And because we're watching things unfold, I notice that a lot of people are ditching these homes in the cities and they're headed to the country. So everybody can't be wrong. Everybody can't be on the wrong track. Everybody on the thinking the same way, and nothing happens. So somebody must know something, because I've never seen so many people leaving the city getting rid of these big homes in the city and headed to the country, headed to the woods. I mean, they actually, it's almost saying like what the word says, I'm headed to the hills from which cometh my help, and I know my help coming from the Lord. Why? Because then you're out there and you're trained to live the way God wants us to live. You're getting taught something different. You're getting taught. It's a humbling experience. It will humble you, that's for sure. It will truly humble you. But I know you can do it, and I know that God will bless your mission, and I just pray that you enjoy the mission. I just pray that you give yourself enough time to actually sink, just sink into it little by little. Take baby steps in the midst of it. Do your homework. Make sure you get a good piece of property, one that can be productive, one that has good soil, and one that where you can plant on, one that you can build on. Just do your homework for your area and make sure that you go with the blessing of the Lord, because you truly have my blessing, and I pray that you get what you're looking for when you get out there. To God be the glory. And that's the end of this message, and I always want to thank God for you. If you've been here this long, please consider subscribing to the channel, because what we do is we uplift, motivate, and inspire. And after so you stay this long, please turn your notification bells on so that you will be notified when I drop my next video. I love you. Be blessed and enjoy the journey.